Most of you Christians believe that Jesus was God's only kid and the rest of us are bastards.
Every Sunday, almost a third of your population picks this book up and go to church and sit down at the same time and get up just as ignorant as they were when they sat down. That's a phenomenon. That's a cultural human phenomenon. The phenomenon is that they don't have to. That the truth that they could receive has been handed to them with the cover closed.
There is only one difference between every man and Jesus. Only one. And again, it is in the area of that word consciousness. What makes Jesus Jesus? What makes Jesus the Son of God? The fact that Jesus was conscious of his divine one-ship sonship.
John 10, 31, 36. Many of you already know about that. That's my major verse to quote concerning that idea of divinity. And here is important, because if you're going to re-educate your people, you can't take them away from the knowledge they already believe. It has to be somewhere within the grasp and connection with what they already know and believe and understand. Otherwise, you're going to alienate more than you're going to enlighten. And of course, sometimes there's some brothers out there, you want to alienate them. You want to shove them down in a damn hole and leave them when they start throwing ignorance at you. But in John 10, 31, 36, you have a key to work with. John 10, 31 to 36. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. Jesus answered them, "Many good works have I shewed you from my Father. For which of those works do you stone me?" The Jews answered him, saying, "For a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou, being a man, makest thyself God." Jesus answered them, "Is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods?"
First of all, you have to use your mind power to believe in yourself. The religious people would say to me, "Oh yes, Reverend Ike, you're telling people about believing in themselves, but what about believing in God?" Well, who do you think God is? God has no personality except in man and as man. And God is not a big man in the sky. God is the real man in me. Let each person say this, because this is the truth of everyone. God is not a big man in the sky. God is the real man in me. Your faith is no good until you learn to have faith in yourself. How in the world can you believe in somebody in the sky and you don't even believe in the somebody in you? How in the world can you believe in a Jesus that walked in Galilee and not believe in the God that walks in you? I don't care how much faith you may have in a God in the sky. Until you learn to have faith in the God in you, your faith is dead. It's no good to you. God in the sky is no good to you. Only God in you is of any value to you.
This book is a code book. It is not a history book. It's not talking about a people, it's talking about nature. Human nature and divine nature. But it's written in story form. Religion is one thing. The Bible, the Scripture, is another. The Scripture of each religion is one thing. The belief is another. But again, it's the level of the Scriptures that you read that will give you that information back instead of the belief system. But you can explain it if you understand it. That's science. That's knowledge. That's love. That's wisdom. With all that getting, get the understanding. Does not your scriptures say that ye are gods? Is the premise of this book. It is not Jesushood, it is Godhood. The premise of Christianity is Jesus. The premise of this book is G-O-D. Generator, that's your brain. Operator, that's your soul. Destroyer, that's your kundalini, the energy in your sacral vertebrae. Generator, operator, destroyer is what God means. It is not someone's name, it is someone's nature.
God is in you. And so I insisted to those people, there's no more God in me than in you. There's no more God, and this was blasphemy. There's no more God in Jesus than there is in you.
And I am suggesting the heresy to you that the beloved Son of God is not just an historic personality, but the one relationship of every man to God. I am Jesus. Heresy, not from the standpoint of Jesus. The disciples said, Lord, teach us to pray. And the very first word of the Lord's Prayer that Jesus taught them to pray was to say, what hour? Who left you out? The theologians wrote you out.
I'm God, you God.